So much. Thank you, Beta. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. It promises to be a fun, exciting, and very knowledgeable um, conversation. We're going to have a conversation today, right? It's not going to be a panel like we typically do. And the reason what prompted this is because I had done a poll of the people in the community to see how many people we have. And I noticed that we had, I think, over 60% of cyber folks, right? Cybersecurity professionals in the house. So I thought to myself, who other person than my very good friend to call and have him talk to all of us on cybersecurity. In a few minutes, I'm going to introduce my friend Bemi to you all. But for those that have not met me, or if this is your first time in this session, I want to quickly introduce myself and tell you about what prompted Edgeworks. So my full name is Olatilewa Akirijola, but professionally I go by Olany. And I have been working in consulting and at the intersection of people, technology, and process for over 2 decades. And one of the things that I found while working across the um, many companies that I worked with is I noticed that there was an absence of people within our community, right? In addition to that, I also noticed that the reason why people that are within our community were not in those boardrooms or not in those organizations is because we struggle with expressing or sharing what our value is, our true value. So you don't get those positions that I know that you're qualified for, right? So that prompted me to start Edgeworks because I wanted to create an opportunity for people to go to have an easier path. I didn't want people to struggle like a lot of other folks, or like I did, for instance, when I first started in tech over 20 years ago. So I started this with the hopes that I can share the shortest path possible on how you can succeed and rise in your career. So that's what prompted me to start this. And we started a career clinic that we do once every month. We have different formats that those career clinics take. I have various people that are transitioning, people that are experienced and just trying to, rise up in their career. I have all kinds of people within this community. So, number one, like I mentioned, the reason why we have our guest here today is because a lot of you are in the cyber field, and I know that you will benefit immensely from having our special guest here. So, really quickly, I want to introduce him and we can start off. You will also have an opportunity to ask questions. If I may, I would like to share the really quickly the agenda with you all today. Let me know if you can see my screen. We'll try to make it as quickly as possible because it promises to be fun. So we'll have opportunity to ask him questions. I've prepared some questions that I do want to ask him. We also want to share with you some of our offerings with Edgeworks. I have a testimonial, a special person that I have coached for a while. She's going to come up and share some of what she the benefits of coaching to her. And then we'll ask additional questions. And then, of course, we'll talk about announcements or whatever else that we have to share. So I'll stop really quickly and I'll introduce our special guest. So our special guest today is Mr. Anjous, Bemi Anjous. If you're in the Houston area and you work in oil and gas or energy, refineries, downstream, upstream, all the streams, you probably have met him. But really quickly, I'll just read his profile so you understand that he really, this means a lot to him too. That's why he's here. So Bemi Anjous is an accomplished cybersecurity executive of over 25 years. He leads global information security, system security, risk, and operational technology programming in some of the world's most complex and high-stakes environment. He currently serves as CISO at Noble Corporation, where he leads cybersecurity, OT, and IT risk strategy for one of the most advanced fleets in the offshore drilling and energy sector, safeguarding mission-critical system and operational infrastructure. Throughout his career, Bemi has held several senior security and risk leadership roles at major organizations, including Motiva, Baker Hughes, Halliburton, Calumet, Duke Energy, giving him firsthand experience in shaping how top companies recruit, evaluate, and elevate security. Bemi has also served as the Houston CISO Advisory Board, influencing executive level cybersecurity strategy and professional development within the industry. So today we will be drawing from his deep leadership in this area. But in addition to some of what I have shared with you all, sorry, I'm just letting people in. In addition to some of what I have shared with you all, Bemi is an advisor around the globe to different boards. He is an advisor to the US government Department of Energy. He is voted top 5 among 5,000 CISO 2025. And he is part of the team that wrote the risk management program for the US government. So, and lastly, he's one of the 2 CISO that has worked within all of the energy streams. So thank you so much, Bemi, for being here. Like I mentioned, I am immensely thankful and grateful to you for making time out to come and talk to us. So really quickly, you guys have heard all of the things that I have read about his accomplishments, and I know for sure that we can draw from his wealth of knowledge. So I'm going to start off with an icebreaker, right? And the icebreaker is throughout your career, right? What mattered most to you? Is it the entry level, um, mid to senior level, entry level or mid to senior level? Can you share with us what mattered most?
Entry level.
And can you tell us why?
Coming in as an entry level, you're still fresh. You have more flexibility to be much more hungry. The higher you go, the more people become too comfortable in the area. Well, as an entry level, you have a chance to ask questions. There's no stupid questions. Anybody in the company, and that shows you how hungry you are. And from there, people will notice who you are. Most people, when they get to the mid to senior level, they tend to get too comfortable, tired, depends on how their personal lifestyle, career, or whatnot. So I'll say entry level matters about how you come in, determines how far you're gonna go.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Entry level. So if you're starting out new, I would say keep at it, you're kind of like a sponge when you first start, right? Because you can learn so much. You can then determine, especially with cybersecurity, having different, because he had to lecture me and school me on a lot of things. I work in ERP, so he always schools me. I've known Bemi for over, I don't know, over 10 years. And funny enough, he was also one of my clients at some point, which was how we met and became friends. So entry level, do not despise those days of, little fresh beginnings, new beginnings. Entry level is important. So I want you to, if you feel like you're struggling right now, just look at it that this is when you can really make an impact, right? And build your career to where you want it to go. So like I said, that was an icebreaker. And what I want to do next is I want to ask questions from some of the prepared questions that we have. And then Mr. Anjous, we're going to have people ask you questions. So get ready for the questions. So I think to piggyback off of the first thing that we said, right? What do you think is one mistake beginners make that slows them down the most? And just so you know, the title, as you know, obviously, you know that the title is from newbie to CISO, right? So we have people that are just starting off. We have people that are mid career. I don't know if I have any CISOs. I don't think I have any CISOs. So obviously you're the only CISO here. So for the newbies that joined the call today, what would you say is, let me go back to my question. What would you say the mistake that beginners make that slows them down the most?
Getting timid, getting too comfortable.
Getting comfortable. One answer, getting comfortable. I love it. So don't get comfortable, guys. Please, please, please. And the next question is, what experience made you promotable faster? Is it visibility, ownership, and wins? If you can, this is important for us, right? Because we also have mid-level folks here, right? So I know for sure people want to know what is the quickest way, right? Not quickest as in you know, uh, like not following the process. I know everything is a process, right? But what is the path that you think, looking back from your, experience in the past 25 years, what are some of the things that looking back, you're now saying, maybe if I did this, or maybe moved from different companies, what are some of the things that looking back, you can say made you promotable faster? And along the lines of visibility, ownership, or wins.
So I'll say this. I'll give a quick little story. Uh,
Okay.
um, wow, 15 years ago or so, I was working for Halliburton, actually. I was in the career part. And from being an analyst to become a director, it takes about 25 years. I did it in 5 years. How? One, two relationships.
Relationships.
And from relationships, you build mentorships. And when I say mentorship, not within your environment, all over the company, because you need to understand the company's culture, the company's strategy, asking a lot of questions, plus quick wins. Quick wins means something outside your comfortability, your environment. People see that. And that's how it became marketable all over the company. The only way you can come up, you should be able to do more than one thing. And each time you provide those quick wins, even if you can't do it, you can find someone that can do it, it still goes a long way.
All right. So I got relationship, mentorship, and quick wins.
Yep.
This, based on your experience, was some of the things that helped you in 5 years versus 25 years to rise to a director level when you were at Halliburton. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So at this point, I do want to give people an opportunity to ask Mr. Andrews questions. Please, please, please ensure that your questions are within the lines of what we are discussing today, which is from newbie to CISO. If you're struggling in your career, and if you can come on camera, I would appreciate that so you can at least respect who we have here and ask him questions. And if you have any questions, I would like you to raise your hand so we can unmute you. Or I think you can unmute yourself as well. Questions? If you can raise your hand, that way I can call people in order. I would appreciate that. No questions? Raymond, were you going to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you. Because I noticed you were fiddling
I'm,
around.
I'm,
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the place to raise your hand. That's why I was trying to
It's
figure
okay.
out.
It's okay. Go ahead. Go for it.
First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity for this program, and thank you for Mr. Bemi for coming to share your experience with us. Yeah, my question is, I see that you have done so many things. Someone who has, I'll use my example then so that I will explain that maybe you can help, maybe help others. I've been 7 years more in the technical aspect of SOC analysis and vulnerability management. And I'm looking to transition into GRC, where it's more like assessing, evaluating, and things. But a lot of people talk about certification, CISA, CISSP, and maybe a master degree. And there's some certification in the oil and gas. Someone like me with this experience want to transition and to grow faster. What would be your strategy? What would be an advice of a path you want to help me with, which can be very fast and transitioning on an entry level and to, with my experience, how it will leverage me to grow faster?
So if I hear you correctly, you say you have a SOC, security operation experience, in addition
Yes,
to that, you have vulnerability management experience.
yes.
If I'm to advise you, I would tell you to go the route of risk management, not GRC. GRC is almost close to compliance. It's just pretty much asking questions and checking boxes and collecting evidence if you can. But to be able to move up faster, to be able to, when I say faster means that you want to do something that can impact the company as a whole. The GRC is just checking based on internal policy or whatnot. Based on what you just said, from a security operation, you have impact to the entire company in case something happens. You have access to vulnerability management, which in case something's going on that are about to affect the company. When you now combine that together into your risk management, because that will help you a long way. And I'll say risk management for two reasons. There are two types. There's passive monitoring and active monitoring. Right now, you're doing active monitoring through your SOC and vulnerability management. The passive side of things is the risk management. The executives and the directors and the leadership, they want to hear more from risk management, not from GRC. In today's world, GRC is getting automated easily. Risk management cannot be automated. It takes a
Okay.
lot of factors coming in to have that experience, able to do what you want to do.
Okay. So
But
when it comes to key certifications, is there some key certifications to the entry level? Or my experience just taking a program will be sufficient?
I mean, for you, I would say look like the science certification. Those are very, very handy. You can go on with CISSP as well if you can, or maybe CISA as well. CISA will give you the input of GRC plus risk management on top of it. With the technical skills you have in the back end, that will come all together.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
but if I
I always tell people because GRC today, don't get me wrong, it's okay, but it's getting automated real fast. You have AI that can do all these things on the fly.
So my follow-up question to that is for someone like me, for instance, that is tech background, but I'm trying to get into cyber. Do you agree that going into GRC will be my path of least resistance to at least start, and then I can branch off to other things?
For non-technical, yes.
Yes, for non-technical, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the good thing about GRC, it gives you from your regulatory policies, industrial best practices, it gives you those information. That is allowing to come in from the top, broad view to everything that's going on.
Exactly.
But to move into the leadership role, I've seen more people coming from the SOC, vulnerability management, with some risk management background, super fast.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that answer. I have Poku. If you don't mind coming on camera and asking your question, unmuting yourself, I would appreciate that.
I can't come to camera, but can I go ahead with my question?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Uh, Thank you for putting this together. If I hear, what's the name again? Sir, I forgot to.
Bemi.
um, I'm just following up on the question the gentleman asked earlier. If I hear you correctly, I hear you saying impact, business impact, business impact. That sounds like this is a keyword right there. For a newbie who doesn't have any IT background or have some sort of IT background and wanting to go into cybersecurity, so to speak, what would you say are examples of what I call like feeder roles that sort of will help someone to get into cybersecurity? To get into cybersecurity, like any examples of some kind of feeder roles that will sort of help you get in there as someone with little to no background in IT.
One, I'll say so generally when you come into cyber, either you're technical or you're non-technical. If you're
That's a good one.
non-technical,
Okay, sorry.
if you're not technical, I always advise my mentee go to GRC, try internal audit, get the CIA or CISO certification or CRIC if you can. That's another way to come into cyber without going through the technical background to get things done. As a newbie, yes. Now, if you're talking about going to the leadership side of things, that's a different ball game in terms of what you need to get there. It's all about the impact you have to the company.
Right.
Today.
Okay, so just to answer. So I'm somebody coming from I'm into the operations side of commercial real estate, and that's where I'm coming from. So with that, again, what would you? I'm coming from operations, and I'm trying to get into cybersecurity. Would
Yeah,
you
I'll
still
say
say the? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say if coming based on what you just said, focus more on the GRC. That's a soft landing spot. Normally, GRC always for people that are non-technical, coming from outside IT, like you just said. GRC is a soft landing. Nice. It all depends on how hungry you are. Some people coming into GRC and get so comfortable.
Gotcha.
And just to add to that, Mr. Poku, what he
Yes.
said, I don't know if you caught this, coming into GRC, if you're trying to get into leadership, perhaps CISO is in your background someday, you would need some of this other skill set that he's talking about because you're now you're coming in as a leader, right? So you need just more than GRC. You would need to add the vulnerability and some of the other technical stuff. So when you get in, work, understand it, know it very well, and then move around to another area, learn it very well, and then, gradually you take your flight from that point.
I mean, to help him out quickly, I mean, even though I was very technical, I was a what they call grade A programmer. I was programming microchips coming out of college. And then one day somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Oh, we need somebody to help us write an IT audit program." They're like, well, since I'm in IT, I know in and out of all the technology as well. I went into audit, did the program, and then I got tapped again to come back into IT and lead the security team. By the time I got back, I already know all the regulations, all the policy, industrial best practices, all the laws globally. Plus my technical background, that's one way to go up real quick.
Amazing.
But you have to be flexible. You can't get too comfortable. I always tell people, don't get too comfortable. The money is good, but if you stay there for too long, it will dry up real fast. You have to be more marketable by doing multiple things.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay. Got you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Remy, you're up next. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and if you can come on camera, that would be nice.
Good evening, everyone. May not be able to come on camera. I'm driving, but that's okay.
Yes, safety first. Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for organizing this. For someone who is technical, who is in cyber already, I have CISA, I have CISP, I have CISM. But the job market today is it's not smiling at anybody, despite all those certifications. Still working, I've been working on firewall issues for quite some years. What will you advise on ways to broaden one's chance of getting opportunities into this market, job market?
So yeah, so it's getting more competitive, and you're right.
Yeah.
And so I started said from the beginning. Today's I sit with a lot of CISOs, advise so many CEOs in the industry today globally. Things have changed. I'll say this: 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you have 10 tools doing 10 different things. Fast forward to innovation, you have 2 tools or 1 tool doing 10 different things. Same to also the skill set. You cannot today and come in and say, okay, I want to just do GRC. Most company will say no. They want you to come in with multiple skill sets, like having some kind of operational experience, like Raymond said earlier on the SOC, the vulnerability management as a bolt-on to GRC. That's how you can get in. I say, and plus the GRC is very saturated right now because everybody's jumped into it. But guess what? There's a risk management conference coming up. If you guys can go to it, is in Washington D.C. You will see the
Is it
level.
free?
No,
It's
unfortunately,
not going to be
you
free.
have to invest in yourself.
It's never going to be free.
But I'll say that I can sponsor one of your guests. Well, we can talk offline.
Okay.
Okay.
They let
Okay.
me know and I'll let you know. We'll have to do something to pick the person that will come.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And that conference will tell you a lot of what's going on inside, in level of automation, what's going on. And even today, to be more marketable, AI is coming so fast. You have to know
Yeah.
how to use AI agent to do analysis real fast. Something that will take you weeks and months. You can get within a day or a few hours or less. So things are changing so fast today, and due to innovations. So GRC is so saturated right now, it's unbelievable. That's why it's so hard to get in. But to get in, you have to have multiple skill set. Like in my shoes, I can speak not just from IT only. I can speak operational technology as well, which is the engineering technology itself. I can speak lingo with the general counsel, which is the lawyers. I can talk to supply chain. All these things make you more marketable. You have to know all these things. If you don't, somebody else is doing it. And I'll say this right now, for example, the reason why Indian were all over this early on, because of the old outsourcing, now they're getting left behind. You guys can get ahead of it if you can combine, go into supply chain, see the cyber laws in supply chain and the technology, go into legal, look at all those things. And then under IT as well, engineering, you'll be surprised they'll be begging you to come and work for them instead of you applying everywhere.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. But it's just as a follow-up to my earlier question. Do you mentor people?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You have to come through me. Sorry.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Access is not free access,
okay,
okay?
I know.
So
Nothing
you
is
have
free
to
in
let
life.
me know.
Nothing is free. I'm just trying to find out. I've been going about with all these certification for years and I haven't really had any direct benefit from them. See all these CISPs, CISM, I just keep paying them money for nothing.
So did that also be careful because you don't have too much certification as well. Because sometimes if I'm hiring someone tomorrow and I see you with 10 certification, I'm like, no, I'm just giving just an example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
sometimes it's not wise to list all your certification in your resume if it's not applicable to the job you're applying for.
Okay. So since you said if somebody need mentoring, I think I might probably I'll definitely contact Edgework after this to
Okay.
find out. And one thing I'm gonna I don't know whether I have to go through Edgework too.
Everything
Probably
you have
too.
to go through Edgeworks.
Everything. So even if I want to go on LinkedIn and try to
No, you can go to LinkedIn, but I'm the
and try to
gatekeeper.
be and try to have him on my network to send him
You
an
can,
invite.
you can,
Okay.
you
So
can definitely do that, but I'm his gatekeeper right here.
I
yeah.
mean, what you can do if you're on LinkedIn, I do a lot of speaking engagements all over US and outside US. That's
Okay.
one way also can catch me live when I'm talking.
Yeah. If I send you an invite, please endeavor to accept me
Well,
so that I can.
when you send an invite, reference
Edgework.
Edgeworks, and then
Yeah,
from there.
I'll do
I
that.
really don't apply. I really don't accept strange requests on LinkedIn unless
Okay,
I
this
know
one
you
is
or
not going to
people
be
that I know.
strange. I'm
Yeah.
going to reference Edgework so that I
No,
can be
reference Edgework
consistent.
and follow us and let me know. And then I'll tell him, hey, look here. Hey, look that, because he will ask me. Trust me, he will ask
Yes. No, I'll contact you. I don't jump guns. So I'll contact you and I'll do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to, yeah, I appreciate this medium. So I'm not going to just jump on without letting you know how it goes. So that way I can know when you are speaking. I can know when you have any program, you understand? And once in a while I can ask questions. So that's, it's not easy to just get somebody who is experienced, especially people like
at this
us,
level.
especially people like us in this country. So,
Yeah.
so thank you very much for your time. So, and thanks for organizing this hedgework. So.
Of course, of course. Just really quick, Omari, do you want to come online and make that announcement, and then we'll go to the next agenda?
Oh, yes, sure. Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to say, because I heard some people mentioning learning cyber GRC. I would like to say Skilled Academy, which is a partner with Edgeworks, offers cyber GRC training. And the next course starts May 23rd. There's a payment plan, and there's currently $179 off registration. I will put the link to register in the comments. And for people who are considering getting certified in cybersecurity, including CIRIC, CISA, CISM, CompTIA Security Plus, Skilled also has a CIRIC certification prep class ongoing now on demand, and we are offering Edgeworks folks $100 off. So instead of paying $299, you can learn at $199. I'll put in the coupon code and registration link there. If you have any questions, I'm also in the comments. I've been the one texting and all of that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Amara.
Thanks, Mr. Bemi. Misty, do we have further questions? We have
Oh,
some
We
that
have,
are
sorry.
raised.
we have so many
Sorry.
hands up.
I was
Yes.
speaking on mute. Sorry, guys. I was speaking on mute. So I'm going to go to the next set of people that have questions. Right now I have Caleb and Omari. Did you want to ask a question? I had your hand up. No.
No,
Okay.
just trying to give you attention.
Okay, no problem. I have Caleb, and then I'll look and see who else has a question. But really quickly, we're going to pivot to something different. I'm sure, Shola, Bemi, you would agree with me that a lot of people lack coaching, right? Sometimes they might have the skill, sometimes they know exactly what they're doing, but some people just don't know where to start, right? I suffered from lack of coaching and not having advocates or mentors and advocates when I was much earlier in my career, in my earlier days, which is why I think I made a lot of mistakes that I made. So I just wanted to let everyone know that there is a lot of power in coaching, believe it or not. Sometimes the path that you're taking may not even be the path that you need to be taking, right? I know you want a mentor. I know you want to talk to someone, but sometimes just sitting down and having a clear plan on what you need to do with your career, right? So that you can get to point B faster, maybe what you need. And because of this mindset or keeping this in mind, I have someone here I just want to share what coaching, I want her to come on and share with the group what benefits that she has gotten from coaching. So if you are online, Chizam, I would like you to please raise your hand. I think I can see you. Yes. Can you please come on, unmute yourself and come on video, please?
Yeah.
So we're going to do this really quickly. please share some of the benefits that you've gotten from coaching. She's my coachee and my mentee, by the way.
Well, hello, everyone. My name, as Olany just mentioned, is Chisom Okorie. Thank you all for having me today, and a special shout out to Olany. Always give you, my girl, all the shout out, who has been my coach throughout navigating my career journey. Before working with a coach, I would say I was executing well, but not strategically. I was saying yes to everything, over delivering, hoping my work would speak for itself. I had the certifications, of course, I had the drive, but I didn't really have clarity on positioning or long-term direction. I was definitely just staying busy, but that was not working to my benefit. I would say that I had to be more intentional. So I would say coaching definitely shifted my mindset from letting me to prove myself to be here to I belong here. And now I would say that that is being strategic for sure. I stopped chasing everything and started aligning my work with where I actually wanted to go. I became more selective, more vocal, more intentional. And that changed how I showed up, which is extremely important. With coaching, I learned how to advocate for myself confidently. I'm no longer just taking roles, I'm choosing direction. I would say I'm also calm, yet grounded with confidence. I have to learn to speak at impact level, not task level, have to know the difference. Of course, this is still being refined because I'm not perfect. And I mean, just working every day, you kind of have to adapt as best as you can. So yeah, I'm still definitely learning. Overall, I would say my biggest win is I stopped waiting to be chosen. I had to face that I was playing small in certain ways. I was waiting for validation instead of driving my own career. So I would say coaching made me realize no one will manage your growth better than you will. That accountability was definitely uncomfortable, but it certainly is necessary. I thought coaching would just be tactical. What I didn't expect was the mindset work that I didn't expect at all. Pretty much redefining like success for myself and being honest about what I actually want long term, whether that's like promotion or growth, um, things along things along those lines. So it wasn't just career strategy, it was identity clarity, I would say. So with that, I'll just close with, as long like if you're serious about growth, definitely just don't sit on the sidelines. Like get out your comfort zone, see coaching to help you level up. And that's just about it. Back to you, Olany, and thank you
Um,
everyone.
Amazing, amazing. You guys give her an emoji, encourage her. Thank you so much for coming out to speak to the group. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chisholm. Thank you. All right. So, with that said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to launch two cohorts, right? As she was speaking, we flashed a QR code to some of our coaching, to our coaching. So please, please feel free, book time to get coaching. There's power in coaching. I mean, I'm a director right now at where I work, full time when I'm not working at Edgeworks. And there are people I still talk to. Bemi that you guys see, I still call him all the time. Sometimes I run into him at different clients. Uh, I remember one time we ran into each other at Motiva, and I remember saying, "Hey, what are you doing here?" So I still ask people to, like, how do I get to from where I am right now, how do I get to senior director? And if being in the C-suite is in my dream someday, of course, I'm going to be calling him to, see what he advises in regards to that. So if you need coaching, definitely get in touch and let us know. But another thing that I would like to share is we're launching 2 cohorts, right? 2 cohorts for one. The first one is interview prep. If you are having an interview, like in the next, I would say 1 month, maybe 2 months, because we're going to start it in March. If you need to prep for your interview, please get in touch with us. We're launching cohorts. It's going to be we're not going to have more than 10 people, so it can be really, really intimate, and we will get an opportunity to really walk with each of you, those that are going to be in that session, how to share and communicate your value, which we feel like cancels a lot of people from getting an opportunity. So if you have an interview coming up, or you're trying to move from one company to another, or within the same company, you're trying to go to the next level, definitely let us know. The next cohort that we're going to be running is career progression. We will share the dates on all of our social media channels. We're also going to be sharing that information on our website as well as our WhatsApp group. So if you're not currently following us on WhatsApp, please, please, please do yourself a favor to follow us, because there's a lot more in stock for you, right, as you continue in your career. So the dates haven't been firm yet. Once it is, I'll definitely be sharing that with you. With that said, we are right at 15 minutes to the end of the session. So I do want to call on the next person that I have on my list. That is Caleb. Caleb, if you can come on, and please, please, please come on camera. I would appreciate that. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Beni. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the organizers as well for, organizing this is well appreciated. The question has somewhat been addressed. However, I would like to hit another point, and that's regarding um, experience. You mentioned that it's worthy having a diverse experience. I'd like to share my own perspective. For instance, I've been in the automotive industry for about 10 years. And in the course of venturing out to diversify my experience, I've worked in analytics. I've worked in SOC. I'm currently working with vehicle software over the air updates. I went back to school, got my master's in information systems, and recently got my CISSP. Um, I kind of consider myself a newbie, even though I have all these credentials. I was wondering if you have a word of advice for me as to how I can, move to the next level, considering my background and qualification.
So if I hear you correctly, you said you have your CISSP, you kind of doing some type of IT work right now, so to speak. And then you have some non-IT background as well also. It seems like you have the base requirements most people are looking for. However, the question is that, do you network? Are you going to the network events for not career network events? And that's one thing I was going to tell. Another secret for you guys is that when you go to network event, go to where decision makers are, not the techie guys are. I mean, it's good to go to where the tech guys are to figure out what's going on, what tools are they using. Network event is very important. There's nothing wrong you being there, going up, asking questions, making conversation, and talking. Most of the time, you get the first crack when they want to hire anybody because you're approachable. That's how people are doing it today. A lot of, I mean, I'm gonna use the word white, but excuse me, they network the Indian, the Chinese, they network like crazy. They crash all these network events and talk to people.
Amazing. Networking is important, guys. You're not going to sit in your house and just, think that you can meet some of these people. Like you said, just he shared that, he speaks on LinkedIn. He gives different talks on LinkedIn and so on. But who knows, you might be able to catch him on one of the events that he's hosting or he's part of or he's facilitating. I don't know which one it is, but if you follow him on LinkedIn, you will see any upcoming events that he has. Please don't get comfortable just staying at home and thinking the job will come. Even moving, if you're already qualified, sometimes moving to the next level might just be a matter of networking. So networking is important as well. Get out
And
of your comfort zone,
let
please.
me let me have
Any
to
follow-on question? Go ahead. Go ahead.
just want to say that from a CISO standpoint, whenever we hire into security or cyber, let me be very frank. Picking up a random resume on LinkedIn is the last option.
Okay.
Generally, it's through networking. Or if you apply, they're like, John Doe, do you know this person? They said, no, I don't know who the person is. That's it. You might have the most skills in the world and everything, but still, it's about networking. It's about what you know.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Do I see any other hand up? Anybody else? I have one more slot for an additional question, and then I'll move to my question. Remy, you already asked your question, right? Remy, did you go? 1 second, Raymond. I just want to make sure
Yes,
everybody,
I've asked my question. Sorry.
you've asked your question. Any
But I
other
can
question?
add one more if
Miss Olany, I have a question. My name is Wei.
Wei, I don't see you
I
with
know,
your
I don't
hand up.
think, yeah, I did that, but I don't think that's why I muted myself right away because I don't have a question, please.
Okay, so do you have a question now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
go for it. Go for it. No
All
problem.
right. Hi, my name is Wei. Mr. Anjous, thanks for being here. Now, when we're talking about newbies, right, coming from a background, non-tech, and you have an associate in cybersecurity. Now, my issue is entry-level jobs. You're talking about newbies, entry-level jobs, and also age factor, right? Is what I wanted to ask you about. You're switching to cybersecurity, not at a young age, and now you're looking for entry-level jobs. And, they say, oh, you start with the SOC level 1, right? But then you're now contending with, these young people who are just fresh out of college or maybe technical college. What advice do you have? Because that's where I am, and I think, kind of stuck, you know. So I'm just so happy to get on this platform and, just
So let me address that. So
push my question out there. So,
from the beginning, I said
yeah.
the mistake most newbies normally do, they get in and get too comfortable. That's very common among the young ones. If you get in, even though you feel like you're competing with the young ones, I can guarantee if you take the right step, in about 2 or 3 years, they'll be looking up to you. And I'll give you a good example. At some point in my career early on, I was a SOC 1, SOC 2, or whatever you want to call it. Within 5 years, I became my boss.
Okay.
Because why? While I was working for the company, I'm looking at other departments, look at what they're doing, what they're working on. And I was taking my time, my own personal time to learn what they're doing.
Right.
And I kid you not, when the time comes to hire anybody, they say, okay, this person was working in this department, it's already in the company already. And he or she knows what we do. Let's bring her in and we can turn her even more or send her to school or whatever it is. I'm giving my personal experience. Never worry about age or you competing. You get in first. Once you get in, the door will open for you.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that I can get a entry-level SOC level 1 job at a age where over 45?
Yeah, I've seen people, all the time, people get hired, it doesn't matter what your age is. It's all about
Okay.
fit. Is your personality fit in? Can you fit with the culture? Can you want to come in and learn and add more value? Put it this way: if I
Okay.
have 4 employees doing the exact same thing, from those 4 people, I want somebody that will stand out. I want to, if I'm going on
Right.
vacation, can I put this person to talk to other departments, talk to infrastructure, application easily, without causing any effort? That soft skills is very important. If you want to show you're willing to learn
Mm-hmm.
or take the leadership role, you can.
Right.
Most young ones, they get into SOC 1, SOC 2, and they just
Yeah.
relax.
Right. Understood.
Wait,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a free 15 minutes. I think it's like a connect on coaching. I don't know why you haven't taken advantage of this. I think you
Okay.
should, right? Like he said, age
Mm-hmm.
means nothing. It means nothing. Like I'm going to I'm going to be very honest with you. If I'm interviewing, right? And I don't even care about your age a lot of times. I have a bunch of resume
Okay.
at my desk right now that I'm looking at because we're about to start a transformation at the organization where I work at. I don't even care. One of the things that I don't do is go down to the bottom where it says, where it says education. And sometimes you see people that have graduated in 97, 96.
Right.
That means nothing to
Mm-hmm.
me. I want to be able to see what you have done, right? What you've done, what value are you bringing in? It's not about think about it. If you as a seasoned person, let's call, the age a seasoned person, if you're coming in, you're more mature, you're bringing in there are a lot of things that you're bringing in that the younger generation might not necessarily be bringing in. I'm not knocking them or anything, but I'm just saying that if you are able to articulate your value and you're able to show to whoever you're interviewing with, right, that, I am going to be, they see how serious you are. They see that, if they hire you, it's like hiring 3 people that just graduated like 2, 3 years ago because you're
Mm-hmm.
dependable. You know, those are the things that a hiring manager considers. Nobody's looking at your age at first glance. Nobody's looking at your age. Honestly, I think you
Okay.
should take advantage. It's a 15-minute
Oh,
initial conversation. Let's talk, and I'll be able to break it down to you a little more. I don't, and I do realize, and I know where that age factor is coming from, but I don't want you to think that age should hold you back. Okay? All right. One more spot for question. And Richard, have you gone before? I just want someone that hasn't had the opportunity to ask him questions because we're about to round up and I want to be
so
very respectful of his time.
No, I haven't gone. Thank you.
Richard, go for it.
All right. Thank you for organizing this, and thank you, Mr. Bemi, for the insight. So my question is about company culture. So my case in point, I'm working for an organization that been there now for going on 4 years. Always call A in performance review. Okay, I work as a information security analyst. I get the highest performance review, always get, full bonus, but the company doesn't have a good learning and development policy and also doesn't have a promotion policy, meaning that you get bonus, but you can only get promoted if someone leaves. So I'm very skeptical about leaving because I think I put a lot of energy or put a lot of, things in improving a lot of things. For example, we've moved from cloud to from on-prem to cloud, and I've done a lot of transformation projects. So, what will you advise to do in a career like that where you seem to perform well, but there's just no promotion and opportunities?
So I'll say this. Let me just number one, the best time to look for a job is when you have a job.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Secondly, I've been in a situation before where I was working for a company. I literally built an entire organization by myself. And it got to a point there was somebody ahead of me, and I know that I can't get to that person unless that person leaves. But guess what? If you have the right skill set, the right background, and you're confident in yourself, the opportunity will open up for you somewhere else. I walk away from that company, even though they were begging me to stay, because 4 or 5 other companies was begging me. I didn't apply. People were coming after me. Because that's I say, you need to network also based on what you're doing. Don't just stay within the company or waiting for somebody to leave. Network outside the company. Let people know who you are. I can tell you right now, my last 4 companies I've worked with, I never applied. Because due to networking, they came after me. And for you, my advice is that don't be scared to leave. You have the right background, you have the right skill set. There are companies looking for someone like you. You just need to network, literally network.
Thank you very
Amazing.
much. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
All right, so we only have 2 minutes left. I'm done with questions, but to round things up, Bemi, I have a few questions, just a quick drill, and I'm going to combine 2 questions into one just for a better use of your time because we're
No rush. I'll give you extra time. No
You'll
rush.
give me extra time. I appreciate that. All right, so I'll ask one at a time, right? The first is certification versus hands-on. What is a smart Ellie strategy, and
And
what is wasted effort?
hands-on,
Hands-on.
a good strategy to have. Because look at most of the exam today, if you take the CISSP, CISO, it's all about use case. If you don't understand the actual use case, you can cram all day long. You might not pass. Even if you pass the exam, if you go to interview, you will not pass the interview.
So I know the last time I was talking to you about about if you're hiring. I'm not putting you on the spot. Just indulge me for a second because I'm always
Bring
I'm
it.
always saying, are you hiring? Like I have people for you, blah, 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 blah. When you're interviewing someone, like break it down for me. Can you tell if someone is bullshitting, right?
Oh
For
yeah.
lack of a better term.
Oh yeah.
And you can? Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
before I talk to you, I've seen your resume. I've done my homework on your resume. I know a lot of people in the industry.
Right.
All I need is 1 or 2 phone calls to ask 1 or 2 person about you. I can look at your resume and call BS real BS because I'm very technical. I know most of the tools out there. I advise the companies that sell some of these tools out there. I know the goal and the intent of each tool itself. So when somebody's BS in their resume, I can tell. But now I won't call you out. I'll let you just keep going, keep talking. But within 5 minutes, I can tell you right now, decision's been already made.
Right. And I know that you are not at the level where you're interviewing like newbies, right? You probably have some of the people that are reporting to you, some of the managers or directors under you that are doing some of that interviewing. For a newbie, do you think that they should really hone in on that technical skill if they're
Yes.
coming to your organization, or do you think, yeah?
Yes, they need to. It's easy to teach soft skills.
Yeah.
Behavior is easy. Things is very, very difficult. It takes time. Most companies don't have time to start and train center to training school and come back. They want you to come in with something and then they can train you on top of that once you get comfortable. That's how it works.
Right. Okay. So this one, I know I was really getting on your nerves with this yesterday because I was like, oh, the money factor, right?
Yeah.
The money factor. So, like you were explaining to me yesterday, cybersecurity is broad, right? Broad. For people that are just starting off and the Benjamins mean so much to them, they really want to, they're already getting 6 figure. They're trying to get to, you
Like,
know, the 3s, the 4s, right? Get to that even before they hit that CISO level, right?
yeah.
What do you think is the most lucrative cybersecurity, I guess, field to branch into? So
Oh,
now let me rephrase that question. So I'm coming in and I'm GRC.
yeah.
Okay, because I'm trying the path of least resistance, right? So I'm now in and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I need to scope because I only have 10 years to give this thing. I need to make my money real quick. Which part do you think I should be a subject matter expert in?
I'll say GRC, SOS, security operation, risk management doesn't matter. Focus on OT. OT is where the money is right now.
And OT is for a non-cyber person like me, operational?
It doesn't matter if you're coming with, if you have a GRC, if you can move that GRC from the IT to the OT, you can make it double your money overnight.
Boom. I hope you heard that. Everybody in the house, I hope you heard that. Raymond, can my friend go for the day, or you want him to?
No, these are my people, so I'll give some time.
All right, Raymond.
Okay, thank you
Go
very
ahead with
much.
your question.
It seems like you touched on something I wanted to ask exactly. When he was explaining, he said it about Halliburton. Now, I've had this interest of wanting to go offshore. I've seen the niche because I studied offshore engineering, marine engineering. So I wanted to be in the oil offshore, but somehow I found myself in IT. And I've been looking at the field of OT and all the GRC things. So the question I want to ask you is, with my background, if I wanted to niche instead of offshore to be in a GRC in the offshore, what do I really need? Or should I contact you through Edgewater and walk that path?
Yeah, you can contact, but I'll tell you one thing. Talk to Olas, Edgeworks. They can give you the right information. But if anything, I'll say OT is called Crown Jewel. That's a code name, Crown Jewel. Every company has a Crown Jewel, and they want to protect the Crown Jewel. The bad guys doesn't care to steal your identity. They want to get to the Crown Jewel. That's the ultimate goal. Companies are paying crazy money to protect the Crown Jewel. The entire global #1 headache right now is cyber into the Crown Jewel. So if you have a GRC, you have a security operation on the OT side, you have an architecture on the OT side, application on the OT side, you're about to get paid. IT is becoming a little bit obsolete because of the all automation and AI.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Okay. So are there some particular training? I've seen people on YouTube putting things there, but
now, so if you go to SANS Academy or SANS, they offer some good program. If you go pull up IEC 62443 framework, read that framework back and forth, make it your Bible. By the time you're done, you'll be very, very, very marketable real quick.
I beg your pardon. You say which framework again?
It's called IEC 62443.
Oh, 623. Okay.
Yep.
Raymond, I'm going to the next person. Remy, do you have a follow-up question?
I wanted to ask about our guest talk about risk, about going to risk the other time. I want him to expatiate a little bit more on that, and how do you get into that? Really?
Oh, so with risk, you don't get it overnight. Okay, let me tell you right now. Generally, you want to have some level of GRC background, and also what Raymond was saying earlier, some level of operational background. Because a risk is talk about, when I say risk, it is about the appetite your company is willing to accept. At the beginning, I said the impact to the company. If I'm not hire you and you want to be hungry at yourself, by yourself, you want to be able to provide value or impact to the company. Think about this. If I'm talking to the board tomorrow or at any point, they don't care about GRC. They don't care. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. They care about the risk to the entire company. How can you quantify the risk to the entire company? And to quantify that, you have to know a lot of things. Which is, if you go into the risk management program, go online and pull up any framework out there, they will tell you. You have to know all these regulations. You have to know all these tools in the background, how they'll come together. If I'm talking to the CEO tomorrow, I don't tell the CEO, oh, by the way, I'm using Rapid7, I'm using Palo Alto. He doesn't care about all that. He wants to know how I'm getting all these metrics together to make it make sense. Just, okay, from a risk profile, this is where the company is.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. So I have one last, thank you so much, Mr. Bemi. Thank you so much. I have just one last question, right? We know you typically advise at the boardroom level. These are people in our community that have taken 1 hour of their time because the all expected to get some value out of, this conversation today. So I just want to I want you to bring it all together for us. You've said a lot of things, and I hope people have taken notes. Networking, you repeated networking so many times. You talked about start off with GRC because it's the path of least resistance and build other skills. If you want to move up, don't get too comfortable. These were some of the phrases that you've used over and over again. So to just put it all together and round it all up for us, I would ask you that what is your advice, final advice to this group of people that are aspiring one day to be like, to take your job, basically?
Well, I like to see more of my people. I'm tired of going to all this board room conference and I'm the only Black person in there. I'll say one thing for sure, be fearless. If you talk to anybody in my organization that knows me very well, they'll tell you I'm very fearless. I don't care who you are. Come to me, I can speak any language, the same fit. Secondly, one thing I told myself early on in my career, be nosy. I'm extremely nosy. Nosy means that you're working for a company, don't get too comfortable. Go and talk to your colleagues in other departments. Be nosy, find out what they're doing. Because our technology is not going anywhere. It's just evolving. All those things they're working on is coming back to you. Yes, I'll tell you one thing. When I was coming out of college, one thing I was told that stood with me is that they said in 10 years from back when, the US always looking for 40,000 IT technical person. They're looking for 40,000 engineers. That's 80 right there. He said, but guess what? In US alone, they can only find about 5,000 IT, 5,000 engineers. Guess where the rest is coming from? Outside US. Why outside US? Because they're coming to the table with multiple background. Not just IT, they know what supply chain is. They can take IT and relate to supply chain. So I'm saying, be nosy, guys. Be nosy. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get comfortable because you know one thing in GRC. Figure out how GRC touches supply chain, how GRC touches engineering or OT. I mean, there's a lot that goes on around, guys. Because when I do interview today, and I'm speaking to somebody with a GRC, and they kept talking about, oh, yeah, the same. I've heard the same story over and over. I know what GRC is. Tell me something that make you unique, more marketable. So when you come in, I can comfortably say, no, Guy, Raymond, you go talk to that department and hone it without missing a bit. That is what most people are looking for, someone that's more diverse. There's nothing wrong with GRC, but when you get into the company, do not get too comfortable. Be nosy. Keyword, be nosy and be fearless.
Nosy and fearless. Oh my goodness. Bemi, thank you so much. I am super duper grateful, super duper duper grateful. Thank you for coming to share 1 hour and 10 minutes with me today. And thank you for giving me the hell that you were not going to show up and then you showed up. I don't think I forgot that. I really appreciate your, even your offer, right, to sponsor someone. I am super duper thankful
I
for.
had, I had to do that too because two things happened. Because of you, I changed my flight. And secondly, I was doing a video shoot earlier for an award. I had to move the schedule around, so I need to mess with you a little bit for moving my own schedule as well.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And everybody else, thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We have these sessions once a month. You never know who I'm going to bring in next. Old client, a friend, someone. You never know. So please, please stay in touch, everyone. Network. He did say networking. Network with us. If you need any help in some of the areas that we've shared, please get in touch with us. And I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Thank you, guys. Bye.